What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So we're on PikaOS 4. This is the default desktop, and PikaOS 4 is a huge transition from Ubuntu to Debian. It's not just any old Debian. It's not taking old, broken, stale Debian, old, unstable, messy Debian, and using that. Instead, it took Debian, recompiled it to be updated with Arch, and managed to gain massive performance and just overall usability compared to what was before. And the best part is this means the developers of PikaOS are in complete control of everything that they do. They want a package, they add the package. They don't have to wait for the Debian maintainers to do it, which is super important. Now, there's nothing bad to say about this distro. For once in existence, there's nothing bad to say. It has been literally perfect since the last beta, and I haven't found anything that's really regressed. The only real issue that I've had is I can't really install it from an ISO at the moment. I had to use Burnt Manager, but that's probably on me and the new motherboard. I did send an email to MSI letting them know that certain ISOs won't boot on the motherboard, the X670E, so I hope they solve that. There are other things that I wish to talk about. And look at all these chicken cats. Yes, chicken, cat chicken. And look at that. Got some ducks. The backgrounds are hilarious. That's all I'm going to say. Now, I have used this for gaming. Okay, I have a couple streams with this, and the gaming was absolutely wonderful. And setting this up is probably going to be ridiculously easy, and I don't know if we're going to do that in this video, but I really do want to do that. But I want to go over everything that comes with this to make sure that you fully understand what's going on. So you can launch and update your system from here. Hopefully they've updated it to use the PikaOS update manager. You can install your codecs. It's got a driver manager. Let me just go over that real quick. So this allows you to install the newest NVIDIA drivers, and so on and so forth. Currently, I think we are on this one. We're not. We're on 656. So we are on that one, but we're not on the open variant. So it does give you the latest NVIDIA driver. It also gives you the latest kernel, which is great. There's a kernel manager. So if we launch this, as you can see, we're on 6.11.6, and the latest stable version, we haven't run an update yet. So again, we're still where we are. You can go in and browse kernels if you want and update them by hand. There is the 6.12 kernel. You could use that. You could use this one. We can go in and install this just to show you how this thing works. This is the same kernel manager that I showed off for Fedora, but just modified for PikaOS. And it's going to do everything you need to, clean everything up, install the NVIDIA modules, and it does a really good job. Now, while that's doing that in the background, you can install more apps from Software Package Manager, web apps. If you want to do any gaming at all, you're going to click this button, and this will basically install everything you need. So Steam and Lutris, including Go Overlay, Mango HUD, Wine Tricks. I hope they switch to Mango Juice. It's a much better application, much more stable. This is the extra. Unfortunately, last time I tried it, installed Heroic Game Launcher and bottles from Flatpak, and that caused me some trouble. So I'm going to be avoiding this one for now. And again, install device configurations for many controllers and equipment. So that's a thing. There we go. The new kernel's installed. There is another thing about this kernel that I want to, this kernel manager, you can see you can do schedule type stuff, so you can enable whatever you need to. We're going to go with Rusty because that's what's best for my system performance wise. Done. So yeah, it's got a lot of features in it. It looks really nice. It's kind of simplistic, which I don't mind at all, and allows you to manage your kernel. So you need to go back a kernel, you can go back a kernel. Install Microsoft fonts, install a bad video editor. This is my personal experience with this. Kdenlive's horrible compared to Vinci's Resolve. Krita, Blunder, and OBS. I am using their OBS, and it does come with everything you need to get everything going. Game capture, browser source, you name it, it's all there. And this allows you to adjust the look and feel. We're going to skip past the icons because I don't really have the icons I want to use. So if I click this, this gives us our dock. Again, I don't want to jump too much into this, but we have the extension manager, so I can click this. There we go. We got our arc menu. If we want, we can go into just perfection. We can go to customize. As you can see, everything's pretty much there already. We can go to 3 pixels by 0 pixels. The clock position is correct, kind of there. Now it's more correct, I guess. Actually, no, I think let's go back one. That deserves to be there. That looks good. And we could do whatever we need to in here. Again, we can adjust anything that we want. So we can go in here. IntelliHide is off. Launcher behavior, trash can, only if mounted, turning that off completely. Move to the beginning of the dock. Shrink the dash. Set the dots. Done. There's no blur my shell in here, but you do have pop shell, which can cause some issues because it's not really been updated too much to deal with things. But again, there's QTS settings. So if I bring this in, I can make that work for me. And all I really want next is blur my shell, and then I'm done. There we go. And we're done. I think it's because I already have it installed here, but it's just not showing up in the extensions list, which is sad, but it is what it is. So there we go. We're all done up. And as you can see, you can configure Gnome tweaks. So we can go in here and we can actually, you know, left or right. And we can go and adjust our appearance if we need to. It does a lot of things for you, which is really good. There's troubleshooting issues. There's a wiki. There's a Discord. I made that, by the way. And then there's a subreddit. And yeah, that's that in a nutshell right there. Let's go check the installed applications. So aptX is installed. You know, default Gnome apps. We're just going to put all the default Gnome apps in this single thing here so that we can get them out of the way. It does come with some firmware stuff. And now we're going to put all the PikaOS stuff in here. I think power statistics is a part of that. And that right there. I can count that as a utility. And that can be counted as a utility. And then we have all of this. All we're going to do is basically just bring this over. No. It does not want to listen, does it? So, again, there's your Steam. There's your Lutris. There's your Lutris. Let's run through the update manager real quick. As you can see, it tells you the total amount of updates, 38. Apt updates, 38. 0 Flatpak updates. And everything else. So we can just hit commit. Confirm and accept. And this will handle everything that you need to go through with the updates and show you a percentage of how everything's going. And that's it. We're updated, and then we can just exit. It's Flatpak settings, of course, so you can add your repos. APT settings, so you can add your repositories. Flatpak updates. Again, we've been through all this. It's a really nice update manager. It's one of my favorites, and it's one of the quickest too. So we could put that in there. And you. Oh, Proton Plus. Very nice. I'm happy to see Proton Plus here. So we can put that in there. That's the latest version of Winetricks. That's not the Debian version of Winetricks. And we're just going to put that in there just to bring this back over like that there. All nice and clean, okay? So you got your standard Gnome stuff minus the aptX, and then you have the utilities, and you have all the PikaOS stuff. So we're doing good so far. Now, I don't want to run through any more updates or anything like that, because honestly, I've showed you the entire OS. I've explained to you what it is, and I honestly think you appreciate that, hopefully. And in the past, they had the ability to recolor stuff, which Gnome didn't have at the moment, but now that Gnome does, there's no need to have that in there. So there's that. And I'm not really sure what else there is need to talk about with this. The gaming performance is on par or sometimes faster than Cachyos. Again, you can watch my past streams on that one. It does have something called TASIC, or I think that's what it's called, which basically utilizes your CPU to its fullest. And it has its own game mode called Falcon, which was developed by one of the PikaOS developers. Again, that will give you the best performance out of your CPU possible. And to show you this, I'm going to show you the heaviest area in Guild Wars 2, just so you understand what exactly we're talking about. Alright, so let's get into the gaming section of this video, okay? Mango HUD, and then we're going to add Falcon, and then we're going to add Command, and then we're going to add Provider Portal. So what this is going to do is it's going to allow for our best performance, and it's going to give us Mango HUD, and it should work out to be pretty darn good. So we go to Properties, we're going to force compatibility with Proton Experimental, and then we're going to let this finish updating, of course, but I'm not going to be enabling this. We don't need this. But we're going to let it finish updating anyway. Yay. I'm going to hit play. Now, when it comes to gaming on any gaming distro like Nabara, Cachyos, PikaOS, it's all within margin of error when it comes to performance. Just try to remember that, okay? And let's jump in. Now, I want to give you the overlay screen performance. We're at 157, 155, which is a lot better than normal. I am going to go to my optimized settings though, so I'm going to show you what I do with that. I go to best appearance, and then what I do is I just end up bringing this just down to medium. I know it seems weird, but it's what I like to do because I just want to be able to play my game. I don't want anything weird going on, but yeah, that's it. And then we're going to jump in. Now I'm going to show you a light area, and that's what I consider this to be. This field is an extremely light area. As you can see, we're hitting the engine limit of 250 FPS. Okay, this is one of the lightest area in the whole games, even though we're surrounded by a city. And let me just actually tab out so we can max ourselves out. As you can see, my cores are doing ridiculously good, except for the last one, which seems to be acting a bit weird. So we're going to go and teleport all the way over here. This is the hardest to run area in the game now. It's way harder to run than Lion's Arch, and this is our benchmark, because trust me, on a 5900X, I was getting only about 50 to 80 frames a second, okay? But as you can see, we're doing a little bit better than that. Again, if you really want to, like, kill your FPS, you'll do this, but most people are going to be doing this. So, yeah, the performance is hella good, and if this is the worst performing part in the game, and we're at 102 FPS, you know we're pretty good to go. But there is an area that performs just as bad, and it would be this one. This is all DLC stuff, so spoilers. I don't care about spoilers. It's been out forever. You have your time to play this. Play it. And again, this area performs just as bad. But again, we have great performance, which is important. Because again, on a 5900X system, I was only getting about 50 to 80 FPS depending on where I was looking. And if we really... Oh, that is totally the wrong creature. Tank our system. You just turn around. Well, I guess that's not really tanking now, is it? Because of the CPUs being so overpowered. But, yeah. As you can see, the performance difference is wide. Like, we go over this way, we're getting 140. We go over this way. Like, there's a lot of geometry in this map, and most of it's not very cold to begin with. Like, if we wanted some extra performance, we could easily go into options and LOD distance and turn it to low. Okay? And now it didn't do anything. These areas have always been extremely under-optimized. Let's try shadows on Ultra. One second. Let me reload the shaders. Really? I can Ultra shadows now? Ah, cool. I must calculate shadows via like the placement with the sun and everything and else, and they must do it partially on the CPU, which is not good when you consider things. But we're gonna jump into another game. Here's a heavy forest for you. Yeah, I know Guild Wars 2 is not the most, you know, graphically appealing game, but it's one of the most unoptimized ones that I do have. Okay, that's actually Black Myth Wukong, but that's at like 90 FPS now with everything maxed out, so this doesn't have any upscaling. So we're going to jump into another title, and well, we're going to see how it performs. There's not going to be much gaming going on in this video. So this is Final Fantasy 16, and this area is kind of heavy. We do have some performance loss because, well, we're recording, obviously. It's lowest best quality. I want, well, that is available. And I don't know why, but being in this one area was the heaviest that I've had. And it's consistent FPS for me. I sit here, I don't move, I don't do anything. Makes it easy on me. So, as you can see, the performance can go really low and then it can go somewhat high. Like if we want to do this, we could use those YouTube angles that people do in emulation videos to be like, oh, you have the best performance ever. And you don't really have the best performance ever. You're just using certain angles. So I usually look this way, which does give me around 82 FPS, even in Cachyos, even in Nabara. And then we go this way, which is usually around 66 to 64 FPS, which is nice. Again, Falcon's doing its best to keep me at my best performance, except for those random ass cores that go down to like 2 gigahertz, and I'm just like, come on guys. Then when I face this guy, yeah, 70. So performance is pretty much on par with every other distro. These are my benchmarks. They are weird, but they work. So let's move. And you can see, me moving doesn't really drop performance at all. It's transitioning between these chunks that are the problem. Because there's no actual hit to the frame times. So. They tried so hard to rip off Star Ocean's combat. They didn't really work it out too well. Now heading up here usually brings me down and up and down and up. It's kind of a mess. It's because it's technically calculating a lot of geometry. Anyway, I'm going to show you in my system here what we're running right now. As you can see, refresh rate, VSync is on. We're going to turn that off. I don't like VSync on anyway. And we're going to go to graphic settings. We're on performance mode, because that tends us to give us the best performance variable possible. Again, reflex is on, shadow quality is in mid, NPCs don't really matter in this game. I have a lot of things off and a lot of things on. This is supposed to help with performance, but honestly, I don't really know. 67 to 71 FPS. So let's go try enable it again. And yeah, variable shading doesn't really do much of anything. There's a house over there. Let's go into the house. Yeah. I think we have to go up that way to get to that house. Or as I like to call it, a hoose. Because sometimes when you go there, you gotta go, who's there? And who's this belong to? Oh. Combat. Alright, let's add this part of the bench. again, I don't want to make this too long. Anybody home? Hello? Can't see anything. Anybody there? No. There is nobody there, but this area seems to be a little bit more unoptimized than the other ones. We're not really having anything there except for buildings. Right about here-ish? Yeah, we just had a huge frame time stutter, so there's that. Alright, so that was Final Fantasy 16, and we're going to move on to Hogwarts Legacy and then Dead Island 2, and that's the end of this video. Alright, Hogwarts Legacy. This, hopefully, will be working okay. So, I'll leave it at DLSS quality, just for now. And we are not going to be enabling frame gen. Frame gen works really good on this, by the way. Depth of field, motion blur, you know, all that stuff is there. And I believe that there's an advanced setting for seeing like graphics and stuff, but I just can't. There it is. So we're on Ultra. That's it. We're just on Ultra. All right. So let's jump into the game and fly around. We're going to go to Hogsmeade and we're going to walk around the castle. So first things first, we're at 109 some odd FPS right now in quality mode. And all I want to do is get into Hogsmeade, because that's what's important to me. Love this place. We're just going to run as quickly as we can through. We're about 104, 105 FPS. In performance mode, we'd be at 120. But again, I like having the visual differences and things. I know what you're thinking. Textures in front of me, they don't look that good. And you're right, it's because of the way that they handle LODs or level of details of textures and stuff. They did it as a performance optimization thing for consoles, and they never really applied the proper method for PC. But this thing is smooth as freaking butter. So, we just ran through Hogsmeade. That was pretty quick, right? Let's go out and... Is it this button? I believe it's this button. So let's grab this guy right here and go for a nice ride in this guy with our DS5 controller. And the DS5 controller of course works because, well, if it works in this game, it just works through Steam as well. You can force it on any game you want through Steam. In case you don't know, let's actually head down here first off. This area is pretty nice. I've always wanted to go into this place. I mean, this is where all the kids and students come in here when they enter in on the boats. So, kind of nice to do that. And then they end up going up these long stairs. These magical kids got stamina of gods, by the way. Let's just mention that. And then they go up here, and then they're brought into this place right here. I forget what this area is called, but I think it's a courtyard. Yeah, they're brought into the courtyard. They're sorted with their teachers and everything. That will bring them into, I believe, this should be around the Great Hall type area. Can I, like, land, please? Ugh, thank you. Yep, so this is where we're met with things. It's nice. Now, where is the, how do we find the Great Hall? Because that's where I want to go. I find that that area is kind of a heavy one. Is that it? No. Is that it? No. Where am I? Ah, the Great Hall is up these stairs. Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah, so this is the stairs where Draco's all like, Draco Malfoy, blah, 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 ginger, ginger, hate, yada, yada. And Harry's all like, I think I know who my friends are. Because there's a lot of students in here, so that's why I tend to go this way. But I think the Great Hall is through here. Maybe. Yeah. Look at the particles. Oh, it feels like being in a Harry Potter movie. It's beautiful. Look at this snow. Wow. Is there food that I can eat? I am hungry. Where? No. Like, there you go. That's just amazing. So, yeah, performance is really, really good. Even in quality mode, it's fantastic. You know, there's nothing negative to say about the gaming performance on PikaOS 4. Not a damn thing. Honestly, I find it to be a lot more stable in terms, you know, you don't really have to screw around with anything. You just add Mango HUD, Falcon, and you go. You test your performance, and that's it. But, this game was just perfect. I know people crap on it all the time, but I can't. The ray tracing, the lighting, the candles. It is what it is. This game is a perfect 10 out of 10 for me, and it always will be. So, with that, this is the gaming section done. I'm not even going to do Dead Island 2. I think this video is probably long enough. We're just going to conclude things with content creation and my experiences over the last 2 months with this distro. And hopefully I'll help you decide which distro you'll choose. So first and foremost, I guess I'm going to start with just setting this up. So sudo apt install wine. Wine is already there, I believe. Then I want HQ staging. Yes. Did it remove anything? It did not. Okay. Now let's try this. All dependencies are installed. Great. So we're going to just zoom in on this. Now, when I was using this for 2 months, Affinity was working great. In the first beta of this, there was no OpenCL support in their version of Wine that they were using. I mentioned it to Cosmos. He fixed that. So if you're the type of person to use Adobe Photoshop 2021 or 2024 or 2023, that will work now using their normal default Wine. Okay. And I have a video on that. You can go watch how to set that up. You're good to go on that front. And developers that listen, they're a rare bunch, and I enjoy every single time that they do, because it means that in the long run, you know, they're gonna basically put things inside the distro that users want. Content creation is what I do. We record videos, we edit videos, I make thumbnails. So having Affinity Photo, it helps a lot. And having my script, well, not my script, having Twig script work on here, I just update the damn thing. It makes life easy. I don't like using the written guide. I get it's only a few steps. I'd rather have the script do everything for me. That's why I'm still using, in case you're wondering, Twig. Now, DaVinci's Resolve, it's currently downloading in the background. I think it's here. Yep. Great. So I should just be able to extract. Did you know there's a lot of delusional people that think that DaVinci's Resolve does not work on Debian or Ubuntu or Mint or other things like that? There's a lot of delusional people in this world. And can this open up? Are we having a Vestop problem? You know what? I'm just gonna go log in here. Discords. Those people, they just don't know what they're doing. And when you try to tell them or try to help them in what they're doing, what happens is they end up complaining a lot, and they end up causing issues. They think they know better, and they end up being problematic in the end. Those are not the type of people you want to deal with. The type of people you do want to deal with are the ones that actually deal with this on a daily basis, like me. Now, where is Resolve? I guess just type Resolve in here, and we go here. And believe it or not, yes, this totally does require a guide to get working. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So we're going to open up a console. because the version of zlib that is needed is not in here. It's only in Cachyos, which is nice of them. And we're gonna just paste that in there. And I don't know what version I have downloaded. It's 3. Done. So sudo apt install fuse2. Is it fuse2 or is it like libfuse2? It's libfuse2. Okay. Then we run this. Then the installer runs. Actually, cancel that. Yeah, see? It doesn't work. Okay. So you have to do it by this method. So this is in my Discord, by the way, in case you need your help with this one. And it will allow you to get the installation correct and get everything else you need correct, and it'll end up working out very, very well for you. Let's check on Affinity. Okay, so it finished doing its installation, and now we need to deal with the outdated libraries, which is this. And then I need to apply one other thing, and I'm good to go. It's my key, so you guys don't get to see my key. Okay? Not a you thing. Looks like Affinity's doing okay, which is nice. And we open this up, and I drag this right here. And oh, god damn it. Can I just like, there we go. So as you can see, it's working. So we're gonna hit start, and it's gonna boot up, and DaVinci's Resolve Studio 19 is working. So I'm gonna skip this for now. So again, we don't really need to do much. I am recording in a certain way, so I will have audio and everything else that I need. I don't have to worry about anything. MKV, NVENC, AV1, 60 FPS, 25K bitrate, PCM, 24-bit audio. Okay? Okay, so Affinity's done. So hitting enter, and hopefully this will work. It seems to be working. It found it. We're going to hit yes. It's going to unpack and install everything needed. And then there we go. We have Affinity done. And then once this is done, we can go and work on Affinity Designer. And we're going to paste the script. It's going to look for dependencies and stuff and do the same thing as before. And it's going to recognize it is and hit yes. And there we go. Affinity is pretty much installed at this point. So, all right, so there we go. Affinity is installed. It's all working. Everything's good. Both Affinity Photo and Designer are open, as you can see here. So we are good to close these down and to finish off this video. So over the last 2 months, again, streaming off and on with this, it's been a very stable experience. I don't like normal Debian. It always felt slow, outdated, it was stale. The only real good thing it had going for it was servers. That's it. Yay. All right. But for gaming, it was absolute dog water. It was horrible. And getting things updated was just a mess. You had to wait for the most convoluted way of doing things. And, you know, Debian's not really that jump in and enjoy type distro, but PikaOS 4 made it that way. So thank you to both developers and anyone that helped, all the beta testers. This has been a very interesting experience, not to mention the amount of packages that you had to recompile. As I mentioned, this thing is up to date with Arch Linux, which is super impressive, and job well done. I have zero complaints with this distro. It has one of the fastest installers that I have ever seen in existence, and I don't know, they're just the best developers you can find these days when it comes to Linux. They're nice, they're understanding, they will help you solve your issues, and the Discord's just full of good people. Have conversations, be part of a community, things like that. So with that, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share this video. If you have any questions, join the PikaOS Discord, ask there, and I'll see you guys next time.